Good morning, students. Myself, V.Vijayalaya from Department of BCA, Assistant Professor. So, today we are going to handle the subject about Visual Basic. The Visual Basic means every functionalities has to be supported by the website, the backend called GUI. GUI is nothing but the graphical user interface. Today we have to see about the basic functionalities called the GUI and how it has to be supported in VB, and the main functions which GUI will be enabled in VB, how the tools has to be executed, and what are the modalities have been implemented. We will discuss in this class. Okay, we will start it. Okay, first of all, we have to know the very basic concept in introduction to Visual Basic. It is one of the event-driven programming language, and it has the option to create the windows with familiar functionalities called the elements, like such as menus, text boxes, command buttons, options, and list boxes, etc. So before we have to know the familiar concept about Visual Basic, we want to know the initial what is visual and why we have to prefer the GUI and what is basic. We have to know about that. So the initial part of visual, which means it refers to the method used to create the GUI. So GUI is nothing but it's a graphical user interface. The peoples, most of them, have to utilize the web designs and functionalities. Everything has to be supported by the back end of Visual Basic only. So the basic part, which helps to refer with the very basic programming language called basic language. So that's why it will be defined as Visual Basic. So the basis of the VB is an earlier programming language called Basic. So in this, the basic explanation is beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. So you don't want to extract or build the new functionalities code functions. You already, every tools has to be predefined in the toolboxes. You just go and drag the tools and place in the form window. You just enable the code by the way of double clicking only. So if you double click that in tools in form window, that will enable the programming place. It will give the support to create new programming concepts that will be help to implement the programming. So it's the very basic functionalities with the help of basic programming. And the next one, the Windows graphical user interface, which means the GUI, the graphical user interface, will be defined how the various elements has to be look and functions, because the users only want to know about the website, what are the concepts has to be accept in very easy way, and how to attract the people. They have to utilize that particular website. So based on that concept, it will be more helpful to Visual Basic to support to the people. So the VB provides the fastest and easiest way to create application for Microsoft Windows. It was used in for creating application for a department with work for a group. And the next one. So the next one calls what are the control functions availability in VB we have been listed out. So there are n number of controls has to be available in that VB. In that, some of the functionalities in most they have been applied. So that are text boxes, frames, check boxes, option button, image control, shape lines. So before we have to get into that VB, first of all we have to know the basic functionalities, how we have to start that Visual Basic. So first initialize, we have to go by the start menu and then check the Visual Basic functionalities where it is located. Then we have to double click that VB 6.0, and then we have to choose that standard.exe function. Then it will be open the new window. So using that new window, the new form window will be open. Based on that, the left side part of the places all the tools functions has to be placed. So that n number of tools we have to choose what the tool as we need, like text box, checkbox, or option button, or image control, or shape line. As we want that, we have to double click or drag the tools and place in the form window. So the right side of the part will be placed only in properties. So if we have given the text box or frames or checkboxes usually by the double clicking, then it will be placed in the form window by very basic name with the default name only. So if we want to change the text box name or checkbox or text box or option button or image control, then we move to the properties, and that the properties we have the option called name will be renamed with the help of the particular text boxes or check boxes that the property window has that particular property name. We have to rename it and give the particular name to execute in the program part. So if we want to code that particular text boxes or check boxes, then what we are placed, drag and place it in the form window, that we have to double click in that and we have to execute the code. Okay, so this is the functionalities how we have to drag and place the tool in the form window, and we have to execute that code, and we have to rename that particular checkbox with the help of property menu. So and then each class of control has its own set of properties. So this is that, as we said earlier, so every tools have some set of own properties that we have to go and rename it with the help of property menu. So place a control on a form and examine the properties list. So what are the properties as we need for their programming, so that we have to examine before that, and then we have to place the list and give the functionalities for that. So click on a tool or control and F1 for context sensitive help. The next one. So these are the n number of controls will be available in Visual Basic. So in that some of them are pointed as, first one is pointer, and then next one is label, the next one is called the frame, checkbox, combo box, horizontal scroll bar, and timer, and directory list boxes, shapes, image box, object linking, embedding, and picture box. So there are n number of variety of controls will be available in Visual Basic, but as per the programming what we need, that we have to take that and use it as. So the text box, and then command button, option button, list box, vertical scroll bar, drive list box, file list box, lines, data tool. So these are the n number of controls will be available in Visual Basic. Next one. So before we have to place the control or frame, we have to know how we have to utilize the checkboxes or options or some of the command buttons. First we have to see, this is one of the frame. This is called the label, which is shaded in ash color. So in that we have to just describe what the text we have to write here, and this is called the text boxes. In this we have to give the input value or access the output value. So these are the some of the tools will be placed in the control, and that will be drag and double click it, and we have to rename it with the form window. So this is called the option list, that will be placed in the circle. If we want to choose either red or green. By the way, we have to choose the option and we have to click that. This is the combo box. We have to click that, and it will be present the tick mark which we want to apply it, that we have to use it. And next one is called the command buttons. These are 4 different types of command buttons called. The first one is print, and the second one is display, and the third one is clear, and the fourth one is exit button. So likewise, there are n number of controls we have to taken in the control window that will be placed in the form window, that will be produce that good result for us. So each and every tools has to be taken from the tool window, and that will be placed in the that will be placed in the form window. So each tools has to, we have to write some particular code, then it will be executed, and that code execution will produce that final result. Next one. So if for that we have to do what are the functionalities based in controls in V.V. There are n number of functionalities available. In some of the part are how we have to setting a border and style, and how we have to set the shape control, and how we have to set the line control, and how we have to select the multiple controls within a single option, and how we have to deselect a group of controls, and how we have to moving a controls as a group, and how we have to setting the properties for multiple controls. So these are n number of varieties of controls will be placed in that VB in control part. Next one. So not only this, these also have some more controls available in some of the aligning controls, coding for controls, and how we have to clearing the text boxes and labels, and how we have to resetting the focus, and how setting the value property of option and buttons and checkboxes, then changing the font properties of controls with the help of controls property, and changing the colors of the text, and how we have to concatenating the particular text and use the default property of a control. So these are n number of properties will be available in control functions. Okay. So for this we have to some examples for the controls, how the normal control functions and what are the default property will be available in that. For checkbox means it's a direct accept value called value, and combo box means text, and command button means value, in frame means caption, and horizontal bar means value, and image means picture, and label means caption, and line means visible, the list box means text, and menu means enabled, and option button means value, picture box means picture, and the shape means shape, and the text box means text box, and timer means enabled, and the last one is vertical scroll bar means value. So these are the default property which will be placed that control property. So when we use that particular controls, the default property has to be access read. Okay. Next. So that's it, my friends. So these are that what are the controls will be used in VB. So thank you again. The next topic we have been discussing later. Thank you.